Taylor. I'm an occupational therapist with LifeWorks OT. We work a lot with people with mental health issues, and one of the things that we find is people have difficulty regulating how they're feeling. So we often refer to that as their mood state or their emotional regulation capability. I'm going to share with you a simple tool that we can use to help to regulate. So the first thing is really to understand how we feel. So for some of us, if we're feeling a little bit anxious, we might feel that our breath is quite rapid and shallow, and you might feel it quite high in your chest. This is a good indication that maybe you're feeling a little anxious, I guess. It's about using breath to help us to change the way we feel. Is that, unlike some of our other systems in the body, so for example with digestion, we have very little control over our digestion, even though we know that it goes on without us being aware of it. And but the thing about breathing is that even though it goes on generally without us controlling it, we can also have this conscious control over breath. And when we start to notice and perhaps change the way we breathe, we can affect the way we feel. So for example, when we breathe in, notice how the chest lifts, maybe the head rises, and we can feel more energized. And particularly if we perhaps consider increasing the length of the inhalation, we can feel a little more uplifted. And so for some of us, so imagine that you're breathing out, you probably will breathe out, and notice how perhaps your body starts to soften and maybe your belly button draws back to your spine. So if you increase the length of the exhalation, you can start to feel a little bit calmer. And so we can use this understanding of breath to help us to feel either more energized or more calmer. And what we're actually doing is helping to activate when we are breathing more on the exhalation, it can help us to start to activate the relaxation response, which, for some of us that might be helpful. If we suffer from things like depression, we might want to feel more uplifted, and notice that automatically my body posture starts to lift and open through the chest. And perhaps you might notice that if you feel very stimulated, that you might want to start to round and maybe kind of drop the chin towards the head, and just allow yourself to rest and linger in the exhalation. Maybe you can kind of start to extend the exhalation slightly. We're going to just do a little practice using the breath with some gentle movement. We're just going to use gentle movement of the head. So as you inhale, bring your hand to your belly and inhale so you can feel the movement of the breath moving the abdomen outwards towards your hand. So breathing in and expanding through the belly, through the rib cage, and as you exhale, allowing the shoulders to drop down, the ribs will soften slightly, and the hand will move backwards, in a backwards direction towards the spine. So now we're just going to start a gentle movement. So inhale, and then as you exhale, allow the right ear to drop towards the shoulder. Take an exhalation here, and then inhale back to center. And as you exhale, come to the other side, allowing the ear to drop to the shoulder, and then inhale back to center. So just be aware that obviously if you have any discomfort in the neck, to just do this in a really gentle way. Do it a couple of times with your breath pace. So as you inhale, and then allowing the ear to drop to the shoulder, inhale back to center, and then to the other side, exhaling, and then inhale. So we're going to do the same thing with a little rotation, so the nose looking towards the right shoulder as you inhale, as you exhale. Exhale towards the left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Repeat this a couple of times. Really gentle movement, using the breath with the movement, and just noticing the effect on your nervous system. And so the great thing about this is that even if you don't necessarily have an understanding of what's going on, your body automatically responds. We're starting to control. We're starting to take charge of how we feel, of how we help, one of these tools to help to regulate the nervous system. Enjoy.